Hello everyone, my name is Rupert and this video is about cheating, meaning you have a man and you have a woman and either of the two would say you're cheating on me. Well, this video is I'm about to explain that cheating is an illusion, as you can see. It's not true. It's false. It's not real. It's made up. It's made up by a woman, and in this video I'm going to show you and explain how women deceive men. Men are tricked and deceived by women with the word cheating. It causes a lot of problems in life. We all know that. However, before I explain in this video how women deceive men, I would like to say, if you're a woman and you happens to have watched this video or someone told you about it, there'll be a second video. In the second video, I will explain how men deceive women equally to how women deceive men. So there's no need to get in a panic. When I make both videos, you're going to see it's balanced. In the universe that we live in, there's never a time where things are unbalanced. You may not see the balance, but at all times, whatever you do on one hand, the universe always makes sure it's balanced on the other hand. Therefore, if I speak about how women deceive men, in the second video that I will make after this one, I will then explain how men deceive women. So pretty much we're living in a world where men deceive women and women deceive men. And as a result of that, we get all the problems we have in life in the world. So I'll begin by saying the word that women would say against men if they should go and be with another woman, aside from them, if they're their wife, girlfriend, someone they just met, they've been together for a while, and the man would go and be with another woman, I will explain that the word cheating is an illusion. It doesn't exist. There's nothing you can find in the world to sustain the word cheating. In this world that we live in, it doesn't exist. So I will be explaining that. So you have man, we have woman, things happen. As a result of man and woman coming together, things happen. We know that. Now, in order to understand this, you will need to understand one thing. We have a body and we have a spirit. The spirit is your mind, part of existence. You are aware, you conclude, and you think. That's your spirit. So, you think with your spirit, and your body is what you feel. So, as far as the spirit goes, there goes the mind. Whatever a person thinks, you're using your spirit, your mind. Now, to understand that how women deceive men, you, the person, will need to believe that we have a spirit. If you do not believe we have a spirit, none of this will make sense to you whatsoever. If you're the kind of person that has been deceived by other people to say that you think with your brain, you do not think with your brain. As a result of the body and the spirit, the soul is formed. You cannot form a soul without the body and the spirit concluding to make the soul. So, if someone say to you, you think with your brain, think of it this way. If you don't believe you have a spirit, and you believe when you die, you are dead, you're dead, and you rot away. Your body and your brain rots away, and you no longer exist. If you believe that, none of this will make sense to you. So if someone told you that your brain is what you think with, they're wrong. If a person dies, and the brain and the body rots away, the spirit, the consciousness, the memory, the ability to think still exists within the spirit. So this is a clear case of where you will find out from yourself what you really believe. Do you believe you have a spirit? And if you should die or people die, their spirit still exists, where they can remember, they can think, and they're aware without a brain. You never ever think with your brain. The brain is a bridge. The brain is a bridge for the body and the spirit, for the spirit to communicate. When the spirit wants something done with the body, it communicates through the brain. The body reverses itself back through the brain, and the spirit feels what the body goes through. In other words, if you're sick, if you feel ill, if your stomach aches, it goes back to your spirit, and you feel kind of like your mind, your consciousness becomes cloudy. If you feel pain, the body reverses the information back from the body through the bridge of the brain, and it gives you the information back to the spirit like, my body doesn't feel well. And it clouds your thinking, it clouds your awareness. You're preoccupied with the body, giving you information through the brain. So the brain is a two-way street. It goes this way, and it goes that way. The brain does that. The brain is what allows you to communicate spirit to body, body to spirit. So, the spirit sends information, you move your hand, you move your arm, whatever you desire inside of your spiritual consciousness, the brain takes it, passes it through the body, and it gets done. You remove the brain, no communication. So, you do not think with your brain. Your awareness does not lie in your brain. If you died, you were dead. Your spirit still lives. You're still able to be aware. You're still able to think. You're still able to remember your past. Whatever you have experienced is still right there in your spirit. So, the disillusionment that maybe the world have told you, and they tell other people, men of science, they will try to say to you, you think with your brain. But, you know, if you're a man of science, you cannot serve two masters. So if you believe in the brain, you don't believe in the spirit. If you believe in the brain, you believe when you're dead, you're dead. But you cannot have it both ways. So people of science would say to you, you think with your brain. But remember, those people don't believe you have a spirit, because if they did, they would realize that when you're dead, your consciousness lies within your spirit. Because if you needed a brain to think when you're a spirit, to be aware, and you're dead, if you needed a brain and the brain has rotted away, if the brain has rotted away, and you need a brain to be conscious, and you need a brain to think, and the brain has rotted away, no longer exists, how could you possibly be aware? So if you're a man of science, and you believe you think with your brain, you don't believe that a spirit could be conscious. And what would be the point of being conscious, not being conscious, let's say, when you're dead? If you lost all your memories, you lost all your awareness, what would be the point of existing still when you were dead, if you were dead? It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. The brain rots away, goes away. So if a man of science were to tell you that you think with your brain, not a problem. But they would also conclude by thinking with your brain that if you need your brain to think and you are dead, you could no longer have memory. You could no longer be aware. Because now you needed your brain to be able to think. You needed your brain for your memories, and your brain has rotted away, then you're a blank. And the purpose of being alive when you're dead is for you to carry on, for you to still have memories, things that you have done, know who you are. If you're a blank spirit, and let's say you died and you're a blank spirit, what would be the purpose of existing when you no longer know you? You no longer remember who the people that you met, people family members, children. If you had no memory, what would be the point of existing thereafter? Death. It would have no point. So therefore, if you're a man of science, you clearly are saying to anyone that believes you think and your memory lies in your brain, you are saying to the person and to yourself that when you are dead, you no longer exist. Well, a lot of people in the world would say, well, I believe we have a spirit, meaning that if they should lose their body, the body and the brain has rotted away in the grave, those people would say, I believe I have a spirit. Like, I still exist if I die. Correct, that is true. So, make sure before I go on to explain how women deceive men with the word cheating, understand this is the threshold of where you would be on board or you would be off board. You're not believing any of what I'm about to say. If you don't believe you have a spirit, with your memory, your consciousness, and decisions you may make spiritually. So, men of science have fed the world lies that you think your memories are in your brain and you need your brain to think. They are wrong. You do not think with your brain. The brain is a bridge for the body and the spirit to communicate back and forth. Information from the body to the spirit, information from the spirit through the body. The brain allows that. The brain. Allows a two-way street, to and fro, a bridge of the brain. Okay? So, let's move on. Everything in life have two sides. Nothing exists in the universe without it having two sides. When you look up at the moon, you see one side, and you know it has another side. So no matter what you speak, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, every single thing in the universe always have two sides. So we are spirit and we are body. So, to begin the point, what a woman will tell you is that the body and the body only, you cheated on me. You cheated on me with another woman. If she would tell a man, you took your body and you went and you were with another woman's body. And I'm upset with you and I'm very angry with you and maybe we get a divorce, maybe I'll kill you, you know, it gets really bad. But the woman would say, most important, she will get pissed, very livid, angry, because you're unjust and you are unfair to her. You're with her and then you go and you take your body and you be with another woman. Very good. So, what she will never say to you is what she thinks. In her spirit, She will never, ever mention to you that our existence is body, yes, but we also think with our spirit. She will never tell you what she thinks. She will always elude you and focus you, guide your head, your mind, to look only upon what you did, which is the body. Men would be like, well, yeah, you know, honey, yeah. And the man would begin to feel guilty. Because the man himself does not believe we exist. Two sides of our existence. We are body and we are spirit. So the man would cave in and he would be like, well, yeah, I did something unfair and I feel guilty, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But definitively, the woman feel and tell herself very justifiably that she been wronged. The man was unfair to her. You was not loyal. She points out to you that you were not loyal to her body. True. But the mind, where she thinks, she will mention no word to the man. Is she loyal to him? No mention of that. It's just the body and the body only. Her entire focus. End of discussion, beginning of discussion, end of discussion. Okay, so we live in a world, you have the planet, you have man and woman, you have what do people do, you have what people make, and you have after. Okay, by that I mean is the only focus in life, the most primary focus in this world that we live in. There's nothing that comes before, in the life that we live, that comes before this. Every single thing in the world. The planet, we have all that's on the planet. But to us, men and women as we exist, the first, most primary thing that comes before anything is man and woman, and then it's what people do. What do people do? What do people make? They change the world and make things. If a man was to build a building, it came after man and woman. A man and woman made the child grew up to be a man, and the man built the building. So all the changes that are done on the planet, which is people do what people make. People do when people make things. Comes after. It comes after. This is after. Every single thing here is after man and woman. Now, knowing that man and woman is the primary focus for this video, you would then know that anything in the world that a person would put before man and woman, they're not making any sense. If you want to address life, go to the source and go to where life begins. So if the focus is whatever it may be, and you know everything come after man and woman, then treat it as such. It'd be like man and woman, and then every single thing thereafter. Nothing ever comes before man and woman in this world. That once you have people, which is man and woman, know the truth. Every single thing comes after, but not before. So how could you possibly make the things that people do in the world, or the things that people make in the world, how could you possibly put it before? That makes no sense. You would put it after. Put it into perspective, a sense of respect and a sense of measure. that all these things come after man and woman. They never came before. So you would not make anything more important than man and woman. You would not make your children more important than the dad and the mom. If the mom and the dad comes first, the mom and the dad can take care of the children the same way they made the children. But you would never, ever put your children before the man and the woman, the mom and the dad. They came after. So, the earth that we live in, I say this part I speak about that will relate to the other part I speak about. We live on an earth, and generally people use the word down and they use the word up. What is really meant by down and up is towards the earth or away from the earth. Because when you're in space, there's no point in space that you can use the word up or down. Space is infinite, and for it to have a top and a bottom, it would have to have boundaries. Space have no boundaries, therefore there's not a top and there's not a bottom. You don't go up and you don't go down. You go away from the earth, as an example, if this is the focus of our life, or you go towards the earth. So you go towards the earth or you go away from the earth. But to the word, there's really no up or down. Just wanted to clarify that particular focus with those words. To make the point, this is the point I'm going to make. So, going back, it's very important that you understand the perception of this point, that as we walk the earth, we walk upon the earth. Like this, we walk on top of the earth, all over the earth. You can point your existence towards the earth, or you can go away. The word isn't really up or down, but most people understand what it means. So, but I make this clear so that when I explain the next point, you'll understand that it pertains to our physical reality, how we exist physically, and our minds exist. So, the thing about a woman is this. Inside of a woman, there's what I call a pussy. Now, I specifically use the word pussy because of the feeling you get when you say the word. I don't say vagina because it's mechanical, it's like scientific. It's not human. It's like you take a human being and you make her into a machine, a vagina or a penis. Men don't have penis. They have a dick. We're not a machine. You know, a scientist, men who are scientists in the world who, by way of calling themselves a scientist, they're trying to make themselves not human but into a machine. They lose the human touch by using the word penis and the word vagina. You never have a vagina, you have a pussy. And when you say the word, you feel it and it feels good, it sounds right, and it fits. You have a dick. You're a man, you have a dick, you have a pussy. Now, what I drew here is to explain that when a woman stands upright, her pussy points away from the planet. It goes in and it goes up. So women are like that part of the mind, that part of the spirit that floats away from the earth. It goes away from the earth. It goes up, if you want to use the word up, but it goes away. The word up, the word away. Away from the earth, the pussy does. It's a hole. And that is a reflection of the woman's mind. So women go up. Now men go down towards the earth. Women go away from the earth. So men are very gripping, very tangible towards the earth as they go towards the earth, and women are very light in mind and they go upward, away from the earth. So there lies a balance between men and women. Women, they want to go away, and men wants to go towards. The mind reflects on the body away from the earth. The body reflects towards the earth, So a man hangs down, his dick hangs down towards the earth. Towards the earth, his dick. And a woman pussy go away from the earth. You could say upward or downward if you want to use those words. But what they mean is the pussy goes away and the man's dick go towards. And that has an effect in how we perceive the world. If you're a man, it's a particular effect. If you're a woman, it's a particular effect. It's not the same. It's different. It's like two different approach. So, now that we have understood a part of how we exist physically and mentally, what the woman will tell the man is, you are not loyal to me. Now what the man needs to do is this. Okay, you're correct. I was not loyal to you in body. Now, what the man needs to do is say to the woman, were you loyal to me in mind? We are body and we're spirit. What the man never ever do is to say, okay, if you want me to be loyal to your body, I'll ask you for you to be loyal to me in mind, which means if you want me to trust your body only, I'm going to ask you, could you trust my mind only? We got a problem. We have a big, massive problem. A man, for one, has never asked a woman for her to be loyal in mind. And if he were to say, I will be loyal to you in body, but I need for you to be loyal to me. Now, what is loyalty in mind? In the same sense, you would say loyalty in body is, well, I'll never be with another woman's body. Well, the mind takes things in from the woman, and she listens. So, if she were to be loyal in mind, anything that the man tells her in mind, she would only listen to him and him only, and no other man on earth. Then she could say, I'm loyal to you in mind, and I would ask for you to be loyal to me in body. That would be fair and that would be just. Not a problem with that. However, what women do is this, is they will say to the man, I want you to be loyal to me in body. The man will not ask her, and she will not volunteer her mental loyalty to him, which would mean she would only listen to him. She will not volunteer that, and the man would not ask it. So we have a big problem. So, being that we have a big problem with the body, being the only focus, the body is the only focus. That makes no sense. That makes zero sense when we are also spirit. We are mental. And I don't mean brain. I've already gone through the brain part, which is like totally nonsensical. For anybody who having a little bit of common sense to know that you don't think with your brain. So, in the conversation of cheating, we have a body and we have a spirit. Now here is what happens. A man, by way of body, has two dicks. There is his dick in the flesh. Here is his dick in mind. Your mind, the spirit of a person is shaped exactly the way the body is shaped. We are in body as we are in spirit, in mind, in what we think. There's no difference. So that means it will tell you that if a woman has a pussy in body, it will tell you her mind is shaped the same way. So a man could come along to the woman, not her fleshly pussy, this one, but another man could come along and enter her mind pussy and put stuff in. How could he put it in? she would need to let his mind get into her mind. Ever been to a bar and there's a woman sitting at the bar and a guy walks up? The first thing he'll do is be like, well, I want her body. I want to get inside of her body. But before I get inside of her body, I need to say things into her mind. And if I can get her to approve of the things that I tell her in her mind pussy, and she approves of it, she will let me into her physical pussy. So men notice, women notice. If a guy walks up to her and he say things to get into her mind's pussy, and it's like a really, like a bunch of crap, the woman is going to be like, I see ya. You need to say something to get into her mind first before she'll say to you, well, you can get into the pussy. It's a general know as to how life works. We all know this. And I'm not talking about like a prostitute or I'm not talking about that. Like basic woman in the world who wants to have a husband, get married, have children, the regular life that most people do. That life is the one I'm focused on. So you sit in a bar, or you go to a club, or you go wherever you meet somebody wherever you meet him, and the guy first enters her mind's pussy before he can get into the body's pussy. So, two things. A man have two dicks and a woman have two pussies. You don't have one, you have two. You don't have one, you have two. A man is always thrusting with his mind, wants to take his mind and get in, wants to take his body, flesh, dick, get in. So, you have two and two. Two away from the earth and two towards the earth. Man have two and woman have two going away from the earth. Body and spirit. Now, if that be the case, and a woman have a pussy, a mind's pussy. Now imagine for 2 seconds how many mindful thoughts are put to the woman, to her mind's pussy. And the woman is told this, told that, other men come in and get in, other men get in, other men get in her mind, other men. Now if you're a man and you make sense, you would realize this, that for this woman to respond to me, this woman needs to respect me, which means, who is she letting into her mind? Because if she's with you and she let other men in, it's going to affect your relationship. Correct? Yes, it will affect your relationship in the sense that what she thinks and what she believes inside of her mind, this here, the mind, the part that she believes specific things, and where did she get those specific thoughts from? Who told her these things? So, the hardest thing for a woman to do, the same way it's hard for a man, it's most difficult if you're an honest man. And I'm not talking about lying men who would say, oh, I want to be loyal to my wife. You're just a straight up fool, and you're in denial. I'm talking about men who feel their manhood, who feels their and know their masculinity, and see other women and go like, whoa, the natural, not the lying reaction that a lot of men do. The honest, men who are like in battle with like my honesty up against what the woman wants me to do. Those kind of honest men, the real. So if you stop and you pause and you say, well, the easiest thing for a woman to do is to be loyal to a man in the flesh. Fuck no other man. Let no other man fuck her. It's not a problem. A woman would do it in the blink of an eye. She could go on for the longest time on the planet and just physically be with one man. Wonderful. Now, for a man to be like, oh man, your body and your body alone, it's not so easy for that man to do that, if you're honest. So, if it's hard for a man to do body, just imagine if you ask a woman to be loyal to you in mind, and she's only going to listen to you and you only and whatever your philosophy is, and you come and say, well, this is my philosophy. Believe it, accept it, and just align with me. She'd look at you like you have 10 heads. Me listen to everything, every single thing you say, just you and you alone. She would never reverse it and say, well, you know what? If you're asking me to listen to your mind, your philosophy only, you're asking the man to be like, whatever the woman's body is, however she works her body with you, that woman is saying, you know what? My body is the only body I want you to be interested in. I mean, that's like a man would be like, what? Are you kidding me? Now, that only comes into play when you realize that we are body, and we are spirit. We are body, and spirit. The body for the man is towards the earth, and the woman's pussy, her body, is away from the earth. One goes towards and one goes away. But the woman is only focused on the body and the body only. Woman, man. Two for man and two for woman. Now, the woman will not let you know how many men is fucking her mind. How many men are putting stuff in mentally that she's digesting and letting into her mind. Thousands of men, thousands of philosophies are getting into her mind's pussy. She will not let you know that. But if you ask her to listen to your philosophy and your philosophy only, she then realizes how much has been getting into her mind's pussy, if you ask her that. And it will be the most difficult thing for her to shut down and say, I'm only going to listen to your philosophy and your philosophy only. She would look at you like you're crazy, like you're insane, but she will not stop for 2 seconds and say, you know how important it is, the body to a man? She will never stop to understand how important it is for a man when it comes to the body, that for her, for him, to trust your body and your body only and make his whole motivation to do things, to go to work, to do this, to do that, any kind of motivation a man needs. You are asking him to take your body, and that will be all the motivation, all of what motivates him in life to do, to get up in the morning, put his shoes on, put his clothes on, take a shower and go to work. Work every single day. You're asking him to be motivated by your body and your body only. That is not fair and that is not just. And this is how women deceive men. They trick you. And they never tell you about the mind. They will always point you and turn your head in the direction of only the body and the body only. They will never tell you how much other men are fucking her mind. Thousands of philosophy are getting in. And your philosophy, maybe a little bit getting, maybe a little bit not. But as far as her listening to you and you only, like she is asking you to just be faithful and loyal to her body and her body only, never taking the time out to say, you know, men are very motivated by the body. When they get the right motivation, they can do anything. Whatever they need. Once they get the right motivation, the man is stimulated. They will never stop for 2 seconds and say, as the mind parts work, so does the body part work, in reverse. They will turn your head and get you to think about the body and the body only. Of course, men are fools. That makes you, who consider yourself to be a man, you are a complete fool. You're an asshole to not stand up for justice for yourself. Now here's where it gets really, really bad. When men are not appeased, the amount of havoc a man creates upon this earth is unbelievable. Men go to war, men kill each other, Men deceive, men lie, men cheat, men do many things because they allow themselves to be deceived by women. We live in a crazy world through woman's deception. Now, do not get it twisted, because once I show you this video and I make my second video, don't forget what I'm telling you. I will show you equally that it's not one-sided, that men deceive women equally. It's kind of like, what's really happening here is a polarity, and men fight against women and women fight against men. It's an ongoing problem that's been going on for thousands of years. So, the woman is trying to point out to you that it's not fair and it's not just what she do. She get angry. It's all about the body, and anger turns into evil, and we get havoc in the world. So, if a man was going to be fair and just to himself, if he decided to, I'm going to be fair and treat myself fairly so that I do not get angry, and once I get angry, I do not become evil and create havoc upon the earth because I'm so angry that a woman should shut me down and ask me to be loyal to her one body, and she will not be loyal to me and mine. It's unfair. And by overlooking that unfairness, that you know is unfair, it's not just. You will get angry, and your anger will manifest into what is described as an evil, because you'll create havoc upon the earth, because you do not believe in this body and this spirit. You only believe in the body alone. It doesn't work like that. We live in a world where balance must always be achieved. So if we live in a balanced world and you are unfair to yourself as a man, it will seek balance. And you will seek balance through getting angry, creating evil. That evil will be upon the earth, and upon all people you will trespass upon other people. And what you do in the world will be of deception and of trickery, because you did not treat yourself fairly. And the universe will always request the balance of the scale, that it must always be equal. Respect. Equality aligns itself with the word. Whenever you respect, you're initiating what is equal. Respect means to be equal. If you're not equal, and the woman could say to you, you cheated on me via the body, it creates an imbalance. You're not being respected because she's deceiving you, telling you that you don't have a spirit. And you, of course, would then have to align with her and what she tell you, that you're only body, but never say to her, well, I want you to be loyal to me and mine. You will then find out it is the most difficult thing for her to do, to just listen to one man and one man only. I say, listen, the mind part of our existence, our philosophy, what we believe in. So, you imagine, in this world you've probably heard people speak about the word power. It's an illusion. That does not exist. It's an illusion. In this world you have people that they call the Pope. It's actually one man at a time. What they call a president of the United States. The president of the United States. And these men, they use the word, the elusive word of the word power. These men are the most powerful, the word power. However, this powerful man and the men of science, let's not leave the men of science out. We have the Pope, we gotta include the men of science. We cannot leave them out. These are the most powerful men in the world. The religious man, which is the Pope, the presidential political man, the man that rules the earth, most powerful men in the world. Not a problem. So you say the word power. However, if you would ask the Pope and say, Mr. Pope man, why don't you, are you afraid of women? Yeah. I don't have a wife. I must be afraid of them. I mean, you could still be the Pope and have 10 wives, right? No, 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 I'm afraid. Like, I guess women are not equal to men. Gee, I wonder how the Pope came into the world. It was a woman that brought him in. A woman must be equal. Secondly, he's afraid of women. We know how he roll. Men of science. And the president. You ask these men, you ask them, you say, generally, if you're a man of science, unlike the religious men like the Pope, this man of science here, he probably generally have a wife. This man here who is political, he have a wife. But if the president was to say, listen, the president was to tell his wife, I'm going down the block, to let's say fuck Mary. He can't do that. But wait a minute. If you heard clearly what people say in the world, they said that this man who is the president, they said he had power. This man can push a button on a nuclear weapon to blow half the world up, and he had power. But the little woman at home, who is about generally more or less 5 feet 4 inches, generally, go up or go down, whichever way you want to take it. He cannot, or he's afraid of the wife to say to the wife, hey, listen, are you loyal to me in mind? If you're not, why should I be loyal to you in body? Because if you're not going to be loyal to me in mind, then why can't I go down the block and fuck Mary? Fair is fair, right? You listen to a lot of other philosophies, you let a lot of other philosophies into your mind, and you don't exclusively listen to me. So, but they say this man have power. They say this man have power, but yet he's afraid of having a wife. What is the big deal about a woman and having a wife? You're a man, you got a dick. You say you're the Pope, you say you're a man, you have a dick, and you want to, what do you do with the dick? It seems to me like if you're the Pope, and you're the most powerful man on earth, you're afraid of women. So where is the spirit? Now the Pope told people to believe in life after death. But yet, would the Pope say to the men, if your wife ever tells you that you have cheated on her in the flesh, in the body, tell your wife and ask her, are you loyal to me in mind? Has the Pope ever told any man that? Then that would clearly show you that this man that calls himself the Pope and believe in the Spirit, the Pope is telling you and all men, he do not believe in this. This man does not believe in the Spirit. If he believed in the Spirit, he would warn all men that the Spirit is your mind, what you think. And that woman needs to listen to your mind only. So the Pope, if you were to go to the Pope and say to the Pope, do you believe that men cheat on women? The Pope would say yes. And when the Pope say yes to you, he's telling you he don't believe in the Spirit. The Pope does not believe in the Spirit. Could you imagine what a massive lie that is? For this man to say to you, be religious, as they call it, religion. And yet, this man does not believe in the Spirit. You go to the man of science. You go to the man of science. And he have a wife. he asked the man of science, could you go and be with any woman you want to be with? He said, no. The wife told me if I do that, I'm cheating on her. So we know the men of science don't believe you have a spirit. So that would make sense for him. We only have a body, and that's all. When you're dead, you're dead. Now the president, who's supposed to have power, why would he be afraid of being with as many women as he wants to? He's afraid of this and afraid of that. He can tell the woman, look, I'm going down and I'm going to be with whoever I want. But he's going to be afraid if I say this, if I do this, I'm afraid of this and afraid of that. And so many things the woman would put to him, and he's going to be afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. You know, what is she going to think of me? What, you know, is she going to cut me off? You know, there's so many things that this president of the most powerful, another one of the powerful people in the world, is afraid of a little woman about 5 feet 4 inches with no muscles. And no, might I add, no muscles. Generally, they don't come with muscles. Women don't do muscles unless you know. Anyway, the point is, 5 feet 4, and the president, most powerful man, is afraid of telling his wife, I'm going to be with whoever down the block. Wow, that's amazing. The most powerful man in the world is afraid of his wife. Afraid of the wife. It makes no sense. So if you ever thought of the word power, what you might want to do if you're listening to this video, you might want to reconsider the word to see that the word is an illusion. Power is an illusion. It's a matter of what you want to see and how you want to see it, to try and attempt to sustain the word. Power is an illusion. It does not exist. It's just a matter of how people decide to play out life. So if you ever thought that the president had power, you need to ask him one question. Can you be with any woman you want and let the wife know? But to say you have power and you're afraid of a woman 5 feet 4 inches and you don't have the wisdom to tell her, wait a minute, are you loyal to me and mine? And this man would have the power to push a button in the world and blow the whole world up? I would dare to say the respect that the world gives him, he do not deserve. Because he have no power. It don't exist. It's an illusion. So, of these three people here, relating to the word power, don't exist. It's an illusion. So, the woman says to the man, get back to that, you're cheating on me in the flesh. Now there's a saying that goes like this. You see the splinter in someone's eyes, but you do not see the log in yours. A woman will point her finger and say, I see the splinter, you're cheating on me. But the woman will never stop to think and go like, well, we're a body and we're a spirit, and I'm not loyal to him and mine. So therefore, if you see that, you would not be so quick to judge and point the finger at the man. Everything have two sides. So whenever you see, if you're a woman and you do want to be just and you want to be fair, you would look at both sides like, well, okay, that's how men are. Let's examine how women are. You would find out that there are thousands of philosophy that are coming into her mind's pussy. She being fucked like you would not believe. A man cannot fuck enough physical woman to match the amount of mind philosophy that comes into the woman's mind's pussy. He could not match it. And yet, the woman would point the finger, I see the splinter in your eyes, but she would not see the log which is massive. That all these philosophies are coming in while she's with her husband, her boyfriend, or whoever. Coming into her mind, constantly being fucked. And she would not see that. That woman is evil. That woman is unfair. That woman is unjust. However, being that the universe always seeks balance, no matter what you do, it's a process of the universe. So if the woman should try to tip the scale with a man, the man will then retaliate. And being that an unjustness have been done to the man, inside of the man will seek, whether he likes it or not, he will seek balance. However, because of his stupidity and his ignorance, which is deliberate, because he knows better, the man would then take his evil out upon the world. He will wreak havoc upon the earth. Now, let's go back a bit. If you think that this person who is the president, if you think that this person who is the Pope, if you think that this person is a scientist, does not know what he's doing, you're wrong. All men in this world know that you're not a man if you do not face woman. All men know this. If you do not stand up to a woman, you know you're not a man. I do not have to tell you this because you know the woman is averagely 5 feet 4 inches. She's not physically like, gonna take you out or whatever. But for a man to not seek justice with a woman, that man is not a man, not a man. That man is not a man. And how could you possibly live with yourself, call yourself a man, and be afraid of woman? Be afraid of the little wife. Oh, I'm afraid to tell her like I was with this woman and that woman and whatever you want to do. I'm afraid. Now you imagine a man would have a gun, they make weapons, they do all kinds of evil in the world. And when they're all done with doing their evils, they go back to the woman, but I'm afraid of you. That makes no sense. That makes like a 0.0000000 sense. That you would do all these evils in the world. Go to war, kill other men, kill many, many, many men. Drop a bomb on thousands of people. But yet, after you do that, you're afraid of the little wife. And you call yourself a man? Well, then let's do it like this. Being that I'm showing you how you're being deceived, but you deliberately allow yourself to be deceived. Deception needs a receptacle. To deceive someone, someone needs to receive it. It's not going to be validated unless someone say, hey, deceive me. So the woman says, I'm going to deceive you, and the man says, yes, I'll receive it. But it's deliberate, because if the man had any balls, those little things that hang between your legs, if the man had any balls, he would say to her, not a problem, sweetheart. You don't have to get angry, you don't have to get upset, but simply say, I have balls. For me to consider myself as a woman, I'm going to deal with you, I'm going to stand up to you. And what I'm going to say to you is, if you want me to be loyal in flesh, it's not a problem, I will be. But you need to be loyal to me in mind. That would be a fair and just man. That man would be just, fair. And most important, he would be a man. Because not like these men, not like these so-called men of power in the world. I say the word so-called. Power. No, they don't have power. How could you possibly say this? This word is an illusion. And yet you're afraid of the little wife. How could you possibly be afraid of the little wife? It makes no sense. So these men, they're missing the balls. They're not really men. If you had any balls, you look at a woman and you go like, bring it on. Let's do this. You would not be afraid and run like the Pope, or a scientist try to like run away, or a man of politics try to rule the world. Because for you to rule the world, it's simply havoc you choose to create because you're afraid of woman. So you take your anger out on the world. Complicated? No. Very basic, 1, 2, 3. Anytime you are in this world, you will always seek balance whether you want it or don't want it. It's the nature of life. And if you subscribe to injustice, you will bring injustice upon the world. So if you're afraid of a woman, you will be the president, you will be the pope, you'll be a man of science. You will bring injustice to the world because you are receiving injustice. And you pass it on to bring balance to your existence. You cannot escape that. No matter what you do, the way our lives exist, we will always seek balance between the two, which is the mind and the body, spirit and body. So, as you go forward, what we need to do in the world is to be equal. Now, these men of power, on this picture, what I drew here was the wife, which is about 5 feet 4 inches. She put a leash around the man's neck and walked him like a dog. Power is an illusion. You have the president, you have the pope, and you have men of science, you have men who are military. But the word brave is another word that men like to use. Why would you kill another man? Because you're afraid of women? Correct. That is absolutely so. So, there is respect and equality. And if a woman tell you that you're cheating on him, on her, that woman do not respect you. Do not get it twisted. The word respect is to be fair. The word respect is to be just. And if the woman should say to you that you are cheating on me and no mention of the mind, she do not respect you as an equal. She's trying to be superior to you. The word is superior. To control you, to have you be within her control. And her control is to walk you like a dog. The woman wishes to walk you like a dog, put a leash around your neck and walk you like a dog. So that means the most powerful men, these 3 men that I mentioned, they're all being walked like a dog because the woman controlled them. And none of them have the balls to stand up for equality and to let her know that if you try to say that the scale is one-sided and there's no mention of the mind, that woman is telling you to your face, if you're able to not be in denial and stop having like a man without not having balls, to not have the balls to stand up to the woman and say, wait a minute, you don't respect me. If you respected me, you would treat me as an equal. You would not try to be superior to me. You would not try to be superior to me and walk me like a dog and try to control me. You would not do that if you respected me. You would be fair and you would be just. And by being just and being fair, you would then subscribe to the fact that we're not just flesh, we are flesh and we are spirit. To be fair and to be just. Do not treat me like I'm a glob of meat. So when the woman tells the man that you're cheating on me, she is saying to him disrespectfully, and the word is disrespect, not respect, disrespectfully that you, man, you're only flesh. That intellect within you, that mind, spirit part of yourself does not exist. We are not acknowledging your mind, your spirit at all. The only thing I'm acknowledging to you, man, is that you're in the flesh and you took your flesh and you went and you be with another flesh, another woman. So right away the woman don't see you as an equal. She sees you as an unequal. She put the leash around your neck and tell you to feel guilty, tell you to feel bad, tell you to lie. Some men would lie and lie, and lie hurts us. Whenever a person lies, you hurt yourself. So if a man needs to lie to a woman, he's inadvertently hurting himself. Another story by itself. However, this is what we're dealing with. So when men are treated as unequal, they take their unequalness and they put it out into the world. And they create havoc upon the world. So for all the men in the world who are submitting to women, not having the balls to stand up to them, all these men in the world are creating havoc in the world. No peace, because they seek balance up against the injustice they receive from women. And they bring that havoc out into the world and create all kinds of evil, unimaginable evil. The men do. Brave is the word. Brave is an illusion. Brave to kill 1,000 men and to be afraid of a woman? How could you be brave? That makes no sense. So let's put an X across brave. Power. Illusion. So we know cheating, she will only say, with the absence of the spirit, equal means 10 pounds, 10 pounds. You got the mind, the spirit is the mind, which you're aware, you conclude, and you think. So, as far as cheating goes, the woman says to you, insultingly, disrespectfully, you the man, your only body. Lie. She lied to you. However, the man not having any balls, he know better. Trust me, that man knows better. But by not having any balls, that man allows the woman to deceive him. Now, the way we operate in the world, we operate like a battery. You have the positive, you have the negative. Woman, a man is the positive, and woman is the negative. We need each other. So, if you're going to live in a world where man needs woman and woman needs man to complete your polarity, you might like to concede and give in to the truth. So if you're a man, the best thing you can do is to grow some balls and accept the fact that the woman is going nowhere. Deal with them. If it's not this woman, it's another and another and another. But we are like a polarity. And for you to function in life, if you're a male, you need a negative. If you're a woman and you function in life, you will need a positive. It's the way life works. In my other video, in video 2 that I will do, I will explain how men deceive women equally as how women deceive men. But in video 2, I will show you how it's done. So that when I'm done with both videos, we end up with a scale like this. It's equal. And that way you would understand that if you want to receive or if you want to be in this world, what is possible for you, male or female, you need to face the truth. And she started out by the truth, letting yourself know that you are body and you are spirit. Make sense out of your existence. So in video number 2, I will explain the man and what the man brings to the table. And it's just a clash in life where men and women clash, rendering us to be in a world that is not a world of peace. 1, and 2, what we can receive from life to enjoy it. We get a little glimpse of enjoyment we get a little glimpse of peace. But it's nowhere near what is possible through this polarity. When men and women agree, you take the two and you make it one. The body agrees with the spirit. Two different things. This is the spirit, this is the body, and this is the spirit. And you get the two to agree, and you make the two one. You will then see what is there to be received from life. But the two must be made one. But these two, man and woman, they don't agree. They're not making the two one. So we don't receive what we can out of life. So, in the next video, video number 2, I will explain all this about men. Then we're going to combine the two together, and we'll see what we get in the third. When you combine these two, you will then see, I will show you, I will explain to you, when the two becomes one, what you will receive and what you can receive from life. But if you do not make the two one, now, 2,000 years ago, what I say here now is just a repeat. It's nothing new. I am repeating what someone else said. His name is Yeshua. I'm reminding you of what he said. He said if you make the two one, you will not taste death. Now, why is all this important? When I do the second video and I show you about men, the third video will say this, what you receive. Now, just as a little, maybe a little teaser before I explain all this, the other parts, the second, then the third, combining the two. The objective, why is this important? Why does it matter? Here's why it matters. Yeshua said, if you make the two one, no death. Now, then I will say, if you make the two one, you live 1,000 years and not die, but just go to the other world. So anyway, that's why this is important. If you don't think this is important, we're talking about life and death. Whether you want to live or whether you want to die. Because why? You're messing around with your polarity. And you need the polarity to make your life happen. If you take away the negative, you die. If you take away the positive, you die. You need both, and you need them to agree. Yeshua said no death. I'm only reminding you of what he said. He said this 2,000 years ago. Nothing new. It's old. It's crusty. Dusty. Let's dust it off. And let's bring it back up. Let's remind the world. You make the two one. We are a polarity, men and women. So this is what I tell you, that women deceive men. And then I will tell you how men deceive women, is the polarity. And if you understand this, you can learn how to make the two one. So, going forward, this is my first video. And wait for the second video to come. Okay? Bye for now.